Hello, Linda Maracle. Welcome back. We've been off for the summer and we're starting with our new set of video blogs, which is going to be on the Taoist Healing Sounds, one of my favorite internal Qigong practices. So the last video blogs we did were on external Qigong practices, meaning we had some physical movement with it. These are considered internal because we're just using the breath and sound to move the energy, but the intention is the same. And going back to what the intention is, when we have parts of ourselves carrying feelings, that our system has the idea that somehow if we were to feel those feelings, it would be overwhelming. We will lock up muscles in different areas of the body to avoid those feelings. Qigong movement, whether it's external movement or something more internal like the healing sounds, help us create a little space from those parts carrying the feelings so that we can help move that energy and be present with what those parts are feeling. So we're going to begin with the lungs. The lungs are part of the metal element. The metal element in Taoism and Chinese medicine, for all intent and purpose, is the manifest aspect of nature that is space, vacuity. And so it's easy to see why lung and large intestine are associated with that, because they really are organs that are about what we take in and what we eliminate. So that creates space. In the realm of our feelings, sadness often comes along with that, because letting go of things, creating space, often can create sadness and grief and that type of feeling. The energetic tendency of the metal element is completion. So it's about finishing things, having it open and done with. Its season is the autumn, so that again, that association is easy to understand. There's also something in Taoism where there's an aspect of our consciousness or personality that associates with each of the five elements. And for the metal element, that aspect of personality is called the Po. It's P-O, Po. And for parts people of IFS or maybe another type of system that uses parts, and the Po in of itself is not a part. Rather, it's a part that's found in every part. And it's really, again, about space. So my belief, and this is my belief, so take it for what it's worth, is that it's talking about boundaries. This beautiful, beautiful dance of walls that are created, that are constantly moving, that are between our drives, our instincts, and then our morality, our sense of right and wrong. Always moving, expanding and contracting to give us space so that we can maintain a straight line towards where we want to go, the goals we want to complete. If there's too much space, we're not going to be able to keep a straight path. If there's too little space, we can't move either. So the Po is really that beautiful function of boundaries. The Lao Tzu in the Tao Te Ching has a wonderful paragraph that talks about the function of the walls of a vase is to create usable space. And that's that's the Po as far as the aspect of our consciousness. It's how we create that. Again, when there are feelings that we are uncomfortable being present, experiencing, we may lock up the chest. We explored grief as being a contraction of energy in the chest. So this healing sound will just help move that along. So the way I do healing sounds is like the movement Qigong. I like to give a little bit of punch by holding points that relate to the lungs. So that's little finger and thumb. The color for the metal element is white. And again, that's interesting to me because in many cultures, the color of mourning is white. So we have that grief and mourning with the white color. So if you're visual, as you inhale, you can imagine beautiful white light. If you're not visual, no harm about it. It doesn't have to be that way. So I begin by bringing my awareness to what I physically feel with my body. So that may be feeling myself on the sofa, the feeling of my clothing on my skin, perhaps the temperature in the room. And then I feel my chest expanding and contracting with each breath, inhaling and exhaling. I feel the breath come in through my nose, down my throat, filling my lungs, and then on the exhale, coming up and out. If there's any part of me that's feeling sad, that's carrying grief, I breathe space and invite that part. And for me, that feeling is in my throat, a heaviness in my chest. And I breathe space for that part of me to be there, to be present, but not be overcrowding, overwhelming. So I breathe space so that that feeling is kind of more on the peripheral. And in the center is a grounded space. Take some breaths. Check in. How do you feel towards the part of you that, for me, feels a heaviness in my chest and my throat? If there are any parts of you feeling like it doesn't like it there, or suck it up, buttercup, everybody has sad things happen, breathe more space so that they can be there too. With that grounded space in the center. Allowing you to be present with all of these feelings. And there's that grief. So to help it feel less overpowering, I begin the healing sound. The healing sounds are done in threes, and they're done sequentially, meaning inhale, sound, inhale, sound, inhale, sound. This sound is not a mechanical thing. So whatever sound comes out of you is the right sound, but the basic sound that was found through observation. They didn't make up a sound and say, well, this is to move grief. They observed the sound people made when grief was moving. And that's sort of like a snaky sound. The tongue is behind the teeth. So I'll demonstrate one. What's most important is connecting with the feeling and then letting the sound come out with the breath. So let's take a few breaths, connect with the lungs, connect with any grief, sadness that may be there. And when I say connect, I mean connect with the feeling of that grief and sadness. return to a regular breath. Check in. See if it feels different in your chest or wherever you were feeling that grief. In my case, in my throat, in my chest. Maybe it feels a little more open. Maybe it feels a little bit like there's a little space there now. So if you'd like, now is the opportunity to explore the part that's carrying that grief and sadness. Explore meaning be present with it. Let it know you're there. Ask it. Ask it what it feels like. Ask it what it's like to be what it is. Perhaps it will show you some seams from time and space, and you're in a world where it might be stuck. Use this opportunity to hold a space and be present with it. My favorite thing to say to these parts is, I feel you, I love you, and it's really going to be okay. And I hold that space with them. Let that part of you know that you can come back, you can do this again. The sound will help you create a little bit of room for you to be present with those feelings that may feel like they're going to overwhelm. A really beautiful practice about creating space with the element that is about space. So practice the healing sound for lung. Work with it. Be present with yourself. Be patient with yourself. And continue to make friends with these parts of yourself. Our next video blog is going to be on heart, one of my personal favorites, so we'll explore that next time. Until then, be well, be happy,